5-Team investigator Karen Devine your story tip.
You're watching KESQ, the desert's news leader. This is News Channel 3, live at noon.
Thanks for joining us today at noon. I'm Patrick Evans. Angela Chin is off today. Here's a look at the top stories right now. Nationwide COVID numbers are up, and health officials say the country needs to pick up its vaccination pace. Just how dire it's become in some regions coming up. And the federal eviction moratorium ends this week. What some in Congress are urging the president to do, that's coming up as well. The U.S. is marking 6 straight weeks of COVID-19 case increases. Hospitalizations are also on the rise. Florida is now reporting more than 19% of the nation's cases as the governor forbids mask requirements in schools. As Rena Roy reports, the White House says vaccinations have been steadily increasing since July 5th, but health experts worry that it's not fast enough.
A familiar sight now popping up in COVID hotspots once again. Long lines of people waiting to get tested in Orlando as the U.S. reports more than 100,000 new cases in a single day for the first time since February.
Things are going to get worse. We have 100 million people in this country who are eligible to be vaccinated, who are not getting vaccinated.
Daryl Baker, a healthy 31-year-old who refused to get vaccinated, fighting for his life in a Missouri ICU with just a 20% chance of surviving. His wife and 6-year-old son praying he'll beat the odds.
I was strongly against getting the vaccine just because we're a strong conservative family, but that little boy out there is a reason to have a vaccine.
47 states and territories now considered areas with high or substantial community transmission. Florida reporting more than 21,000 COVID cases on Friday, its largest single-day increase since the pandemic began. And in Texas, there are now just 7 available ICU beds in Austin, a city with 2.3 million residents. In Louisiana, hospitalizations are up nearly 500% in the last month, the state reporting the highest infection rate in the country.
If this is happening here, especially in New Orleans with pretty good vaccination rates, it's going to happen everywhere.
Booster shots are being considered, but for now, federal health officials say they're not necessary.
Pfizer, Moderna, J&J do have high effectiveness against Delta. There is no reason to rush forward at this present time for a booster decision.
The CDC says the Delta variant is more contagious than the common cold and as contagious as chickenpox, explaining that one person sick with the original strain of COVID-19 could easily infect an average of 2 to 3 people in close contact. But with the Delta variant, that number could now be up to 9 people. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
As a federal eviction ban is lifted Saturday, many government officials are concerned that millions of people could be evicted within the next few weeks. It could start as soon as today. For more than a year, some renters have had a hard time paying their rent as pandemic put many of them out of their jobs. Meanwhile, landlords say the $48 billion from the federal housing aid isn't coming in fast enough.
The landlord situation is a real situation. I've even heard from some of my own landlords in my community, in my district. And that's a real thing. We want to make sure our landlords are taken care of. But just like Senator Warren just said, the money is there. We just have to do the work. Our states and our localities need to push the money out. That money has to be released.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats are calling on the Biden administration to immediately extend the nation's eviction ban. Last night, Speaker Pelosi said, now more than ever, it's important to keep people in housing as the nation experiences another surge. And over the weekend, Congress was unable to pass legislation to extend that ban. President Biden announced last week he will not be working to extend it. Vacationing in the United Kingdom just got a lot easier for fully vaccinated Americans. The British government has changed its restrictions after families have been separated for almost 2 years. Fully vaccinated Americans will now be able to travel to the United Kingdom without having to quarantine.
I'm pregnant with my in-laws' first grandchild, so it's really exciting to finally be able to be here and share that news with them.
Oh, amazing.
Surreal.
Amazing. Really surreal.
It's a big day.
All that is required now is a COVID test before flying and a PCR test 2 days after arriving. You will also need to show your CDC vaccination card at the airport if you're fully vaccinated. The White House does not presently plan to change our existing travel restrictions that make it difficult for British and EU citizens to visit the United States. Well, rising coronavirus cases and rapidly spreading Delta variant have local businesses on their toes. They've had to pivot again as public health guidance continues to evolve. News Channel 3's Shelby Nelson has more from business owners and their concerns over an uncertain future.
We just try to keep up with the new rules, and as they change and evolve, you really have to pay attention to them.
Just as things started to seem somewhat normal, coronavirus cases now on the rise in Riverside County and across the state.
We have masks and hand sanitizer for free at the front door, and if they decide that our customers also have to be masked indoors, we'll do that too.
Owner of Crystal Fantasy in downtown Palm Springs, Joy Meredith, says they never stopped wearing masks. With concerns over the highly transmissible Delta variant and many still refusing to get vaccinated, California's Department of Public Health recommended all people wear masks indoors, regardless of vaccination status.
It is a scary time right now, honestly, because we really don't know what's coming, and of course that is always very nerve-wracking.
Local businesses have been pulled in all different directions over the course of the pandemic.
I don't think anyone's quite ready to exhale yet. I think we're always sort of just ready to pivot as we need to. The good news is we've had a lot of practice pivoting in the last 18 months.
For co-owner of Grill-A-Burger in Palm Desert, Salima Noorani says they're busier than usual this time of year, but it's been a roller coaster, and to add to it, supplier pricing is going up.
Being a private business, we definitely have the option for choice in terms of what our guests are preferring, what our employees are preferring. We prefer that we are all vaccinated and do what we can to listen to the science, but at the same time, also a big believer in people's choice to do what they feel is best for them.
In Desert Hot Springs, things have also picked up at Delicia's Mexican Cuisine.
I have seen more people wearing their masks.
Despite a promising spike in summer sales, server Pilar Paniagua can't help but be ready for the worst.
We were talking about potentially, if we do go back into lockdown, we're trying to stay positive about it. It will 110% affect all businesses, including us.
But she's hoping that doesn't happen and that Valley residents do their part.
And I just feel like if we could take the smallest precautions to keep ourselves healthy and safe, I think everybody should be willing to accommodate with our new recommendations.
Shelby Nelson, News Channel 3.
And starting today, face coverings are required in all city buildings in Palm Springs, regardless of vaccination status. The City Council has set to hold a special meeting on Wednesday to discuss potential health policies going forward. All right, let's check things going on outside. It is sunny and pleasant, a little drier today than it has been. Last week, we culminated the week with a big batch of thunderstorms. Things a little calmer. You're looking at it the TMO's live Skycam. Gazing across the valley, looking back toward the Santa Rosas. Downtown Palm Springs looking very pleasant, not real crowded. I don't blame folks. It's a little toasty out there. We're up to 111. We were thinking 112 or thereabouts today. We're going to go past that number, obviously, in Palm Springs. Winds are coming in out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour. Here's an important number. Our humidity's down below the 20% range. It's still a little high, higher than we like. All right, and you can see that we have an excessive heat watch, now an excessive heat warning for the Coachella Valley, and heat advisories in the Inland Empire. So concerns about hot weather for today and the rest of the week. And most of those advisories go into effect tomorrow as the numbers really start to soar. We're looking at clear skies. Our dew points are still up in the West Valley, up in the upper 50s, so your evaporative coolers may struggle just a little bit. I'm looking at a temperature of about 114 or better today. Had to bump those numbers up a little bit. We're already warming up quickly, and that's going to be the case for the remainder of the week. And I will have more on your complete First Alert forecast when our broadcast continues. You're watching News Channel 3, the Desert's news leader. We'll be back with more.
LA Rams football is back.
Hey Rams fans, it's spring the first Rams home game of the season when we host the Chargers on Saturday, August 14 at 7 p.m.
For all things LA Rams, count on Coachella Valley's official LA Rams station. For complete schedules and Rams coverage, click to KDFX.com for everything Los Angeles Rams.
LA Rams football Saturday, August 14th at 7 on KDFX Fox 11. Brought to you by Screens to You and Shades to You.
This week, we now know more about the Delta variant and see younger people getting seriously ill. The threat of catastrophic consequences for under-vaccinated states. With so much at stake, ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is the #1 program on all of television.
Discover the desert's newest retail destination. Visit us in the heart of Rancho Mirage, Highway 111, south of Frank Sinatra.
Hi, I'm Bill Nicholson of Flooring Innovations. Nearly 100 years ago, Karastan Carpets began looming highly desirable rugs in North Carolina. Now with Karastan Home at Flooring Innovations, you have access to not only fine Karastan carpets and rugs, but also magnificent Karastan hardwoods and luxury vinyl. Flooring Innovations and Karastan, two iconic names in home finishes.
Flooring Innovations, I love you.
Jane, it's so good to see you back on your feet after your accident.
Yeah, Debbie, it's been tough. Insurance adjusters harassing me, medical bills. How was I supposed to work?
You know, there's one lawyer you can trust to help you through this, winning millions of dollars in settlements and jury verdicts.
Well, you know who I called.
Well, of course, Barry Rieger.
I'm attorney Jacob Rieger. I'm attorney Barry Rieger. The overwhelming majority of all cases that we take to trial are won by our office.
Call the law office of Barry Rieger. Experience you can trust.
Closed captioning brought to you by Brad Schmidt Real Estate Group. No one outsells Brad in the greater Palm Springs area. Exclusively endorsed by Barbara Corcoran.
Residents in western Riverside County are honoring two teens who were shot to death in a Corona movie theater last week. A candlelight vigil was held Saturday night after the second victim, 19-year-old Anthony Barajas, was taken off of life support and pronounced dead. Police say an 18-year-old Riley Goodrich and Barajas were found by a theater employee Monday night after being shot in the head execution style. They believe it was a random attack. Hundreds attended the vigil at the movie theater where the shooting occurred. Another happened Friday night at New Beginnings Community Church in Norco. Friends say the pair recently started dating.
Being here tonight and seeing both their faces, it just doesn't feel real, like Skylar said. She should be right here with us, and I just really wanted them to get to know each other.
Still doesn't seem real. I feel like I'm going to see them tomorrow, and we're just going to go on with our lives.
Goodrich's family is now advocating for metal detectors in all movie theaters to prevent this from happening again. The suspect, 20-year-old Joseph Jimenez, is expected to be arraigned for both murders this week. An Orange County judge has recused himself from a case involving a Newport Beach couple accused of drugging and sexually assaulting several women. Judge Stephen Bromberg is stepping away amid allegations that he mistreated both defense attorneys and state prosecutors during a recent hearing. Dr. Grant Robichaux and Sarissa Riley were originally charged in 2018 with rape by use of drugs, kidnapping, and other crimes. The couple have pleaded not guilty, saying the sex was consensual. As fire season starts earlier each year in the western U.S., some firefighters are asking for more help on federal land. The LA Times reports that firefighters are trusting the federal government less, which has the authority on rural communities, hit hard during these events. The government currently owns about 45% of the state with more than 45 million acres. State and county agencies prefer to focus more on aggressive action to protect buildings, while the Forest Service allows some fires to burn in order to thin overgrown forests, as its own funding also runs thin. Governor Newsom told the White House Friday he wants the wait-and-see mentality to stop. And a new state law set to take effect next year could make pork harder to come by and more expensive. Voters in 2018 overwhelmingly approved a law requiring more space for breeding pigs, egg-laying chickens, and veal calves. National veal and egg producers are optimistic that it can meet the new standards, but only 4% of hog operations comply with the new regulations. Unless courts intervene or the state temporarily allows non-compliant meat to be sold here, California will lose much of its pork supply. Well, the Senate has introduced the text of the roughly $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. Just how much has been allocated for roads, bridges, and public transit? Well, you'll find out coming up.
You can help Track our local weather by sharing with the KESQ First Alert Weather Team. Download the KESQ First Alert app, tap the Share tab, and send us pics of weather we all need to see. Be seen, be heard. Share with the KESQ First Alert Weather Team.
I have no words for you right now. I'm losing you. I'm losing my mind here. All I'm looking for is to find my person, and my person just left.
If you think lawyers are too expensive, pay attention. Starting a business, getting a divorce, estate planning. Introducing Legal Docs by Me. Now available in your neighborhood. Call now for legal docs of all types. Never leave home. Just call. Legal Docs by Me costs a fraction of an attorney. Call 760-341-4666. 760-341-4666. Low cost, fast, accurate legal documents. 760-341-4666.
When you're on the go and need to know, download the KESQ News app. Breaking news as it happens. Top stories, alerts, and information you need to know. Get mobile on the go with KESQ News Channel 3.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call now or go online for your free information kit from Physicians Mutual.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
First Alert Weather brought to you by Comfort Air. They're #1 for a reason.
Welcome back. A group of bipartisan senators on Capitol Hill have unveiled the legislative text for the infrastructure package. It's looking to rebuild America's roads, mass transit systems, and expand broadband internet. As Ika Jochi reports, the new piece of legislation could be voted on as early as the end of this week.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says congratulations are in order.
We haven't done a large bipartisan bill of this nature in a long time.
After 2 long days of weekend sessions, a bipartisan group of Senate negotiators finalized an agreement for an infrastructure bill. The new price tag, $1.1 trillion with $550 billion in new spending, $110 billion earmarked for roads and bridges, $39 billion for public transit, and $65 billion to expand broadband internet. Senators introduced the bill late Sunday with what appears to be a newfound appreciation for bipartisanship.
We will continue to once again demonstrate to our country and to the world that we can indeed do our jobs, that we can legislate, that we can work together.
No new taxes, core infrastructure only, and it's great for the American people.
The full Senate will now begin working through amendments to the bill. The original group of Senate negotiators will be tasked with making sure 10 Republicans stay on board, a task West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin believes will be completed.
And you think it will pass?
I do. Oh, absolutely. I do. And you see Chuck Schumer and you see Mitch McConnell both voting for the same thing. It's unbelievable.
The bill, however, will face more scrutiny once it gets to the House. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has already said she won't take up the infrastructure bill unless the Senate passes a budget reconciliation bill that includes President Biden's human infrastructure proposal that will likely cost around $3.5 trillion. President Biden noted that if the human infrastructure bill passes in the Senate, concessions and compromise will likely happen in the House. Ika Jochi, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Patrick Evans.
All right, we're looking out at El Paseo, what is a comfortable but hot day, and this is just the start of what is going to be a very hot week out there. The humidity's dried out a little bit, not 100% yet. We're still watching those numbers dry a little bit over the next couple of days. High pressure in place, and it's going to keep us hotter than normal. So the excessive heat watch has become an excessive heat warning for the Coachella Valley and the areas with this pink coloration. The dark red is a watch, and I suspect that will become a warning as well. This goes into effect tomorrow at 10 o'clock and lasts through Wednesday. We're already under that heat advisory in the Inland Empire, so anticipating exceptionally hot numbers throughout Southern California. And we're already seeing evidence of that. It's 111 degrees in Palm Springs and La Quinta. We're at 111 in Thermal and Mecca as well. So the temperature is climbing well into those 1-teens today and all week long. We're going to be pushing up close to about 115, 117 degrees. We've got winds coming in out of the northwest, which does act as a drying mechanism, and it pushes away some of that monsoonal moisture. However, we're still seeing a little bit of heightened humidity in the West Valley. Not terrible. Dew point at 53 in Cathedral City, 54 in Thousand Palms. We're on the cusp here in terms of use of your evaporative coolers. It's a little bit easier to do that in the East Valley where the atmosphere is a good bit drier. There's dew points down into the lower 40s. Oh, it's National Ice Cream Day. That's what you need to help cool yourself off when it gets this hot. So there's always ways to cool off. It's also important to stay hydrated and check on your elderly neighbors and the kids, because remember, they have a harder time controlling their body temperature. And this ridge of high pressure is going to stick around the bulk of the week. It's going to keep that moisture off to our east, but we are going to see those real hot numbers. So stay hydrated. Do your outdoor stuff early in the morning. Don't walk the dogs when the pavement's too hot. So wait until just after sunrise you can do that, or well after sunset when the pavement has cooled off. That ridge of high pressure, as I said, is going to hang around for the bulk of the week. Temperatures today climbing, I think, well past 112. And for the rest of the week, we're looking at numbers around 114, 115, and I think perhaps on Wednesday even hotter than that. The numbers slowly settle back down. And by the weekend, we're going to be back close to our seasonal averages, but be prepared for a much hotter than normal start to our August. I'll be back with more right after the break. You're watching News Channel 3, the Desert's news leader.
And a very good morning to you. I'm Jeff Stahl.
And I'm Angela Chen. Some residents speaking out strongly against a proposed surf park.
News Channel 3 in the morning has your back when you wake up.
Palm Springs Mayor Christy Holstage is intending to run for California State Assembly.
New and fresh stories you didn't see the night before. 1 year since a Desert Hot Springs boy was violently attacked outside his home.
Bringing you breaking news in the morning as it happens.
And keeping you informed of what happened overnight.
Watch News Channel 3 every morning from 5 to 7 a.m.
Esquina a esquina, y ahí nos vamos. El mundo es grande, pero lo tengo en mis manos. Estoy muy duro, sí, ok, ahí vamos. Y con el tiempo nos seguimos elevando. Y vengo bailando, rompiendo. ¿Y dónde está mi gigante? Me fue a bouger la tête. ¿Y dónde está mi gigante? Say yeah, yeah, yeah. 1, 2, 3, Lego!
Keep California moving. Get vaccinated.
Tap Room 29, exclusively at Spotlight 29 Casino.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm the owner of Lucky Boys Hair Salon. We're family friendly. We offer $15 haircuts for men and boys and $20 for ladies and girls. We're easily found in Palm Desert across the street from Pete Carlson's Golf on 111. Lucky Boys Hair Salon, changing the world one head at a time.
Hi, I'm Tim Bradley.
And I'm Monica Bradley.
Welcome to House of Poke Fusion.
Always fresh, guaranteed delicious. House of Poke Fusion, your home for the freshest and most delicious poke and sushi. Enjoy our creatively inspired sushi rolls, amazing poke, and much more. Our friends and family experience is sure to be a knockout. Visit us in downtown Palm Springs across from the Marilyn Monroe statue. House of Poke Fusion, always fresh, guaranteed delicious.
Jeff, Angela, and Patrick. Watch News Channel 3 in the morning live from 5 to 7 a.m.
A top FDA official said the Pfizer-BioNTech shot will be under accelerated review to earn full approval. As of now, all of the COVID vaccines used in the U.S. are still under emergency use authorization. That is causing some to be hesitant to get the vaccine. The agency has deployed an all-hands-on-deck strategy to get them full approval. While Apple removed Unjected, that's a dating app for the unvaccinated, from its app store, Apple told the app it inappropriately refers to the pandemic in its concept or theme. Unjected said on Instagram that the app offered medical autonomy and freedom of choice. Well, mindfulness meditation can make some Americans more selfish and less generous. A study from the University of Buffalo found that after mindfulness meditation in the U.S., people were less likely to volunteer their time. The researchers say it may be because in Asian culture, meditation is tied to the bigger picture of Buddhism, where in the U.S. it is largely secular. The meditation market is expected to grow to over $2 billion by next year. From New York, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
About 15 million women suffer from debilitating symptoms of uterine fibroids. These are non-cancerous tumors that grow in and on the uterus and can cause heavy menstrual bleeding and pain. The FDA recently approved a daily pill, Myfembree, to reduce heavy bleeding from those fibroids, which can lead to anemia. Patients can stay on the drug for up to 2 years. Doctors say it is not a cure, nor is it suitable for women who want to get pregnant. But a surgical procedure can also offer hope for those.
The newest procedure that's being done for fibroids is something called radiofrequency ablation. Essentially, sort of putting a needle into a fibroid and delivering an electric.
For more information on these solutions, visit White Dress Project's website, thewhitedressproject.org. All right, top stories are coming up. You're watching News Channel 3. The Desert's news leader will be right back.
Attention Coachella Valley employers. The virtual annual Valley-wide Employment Expo is here. Now's your chance to network and recruit qualified individuals for your hiring and customer needs. No-cost registration is now available at desertjobexpo.com. Find the qualified personnel you're looking for. There's no other event in the Coachella Valley that provides an event of this size to showcase your business or service. Visit desertjobexpo.com for more info. It's the virtual annual Valley-wide Employment Expo 2021.
The day of the accident, I was waiting for the light to turn green. I was in a red light. And then from out of the blue, I felt the crash. Everything happened so fast. The hardships that I had to go through because of the accident it was a difficult time in my life, because basically I wasn't able to work. I had neck braces, I had rehab, I had to go through many places. And I decided to call Jacob because he was just the first person I thought of calling to help me, because I believe Jacob is going to be my first responder.
Being able to help a great family man like Jesus through tough times is the reason why I wake up every day and fight so hard for my clients.
When first responders need a first responder, we call Jacob.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
The reasons to treat yourself to a frozen drink from McDonald's go on and on.
Right now, relax with a small frozen drink, like the new frozen Coca-Cola for just $1.50.
You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader. This is News Channel 3 live at noon with Jeff Stahl, Angela Chen, and meteorologist Patrick Evans.
Are you frustrated when shopping for insurance? Do you know how much you need to protect your assets today, tomorrow, and beyond? If you name your own price, will you have enough coverage? At Brown Insurance Services in Palm Springs, we represent many 8+ carriers for home, auto, and business insurance.
Hi, I'm David. And I'm Donnie. Call us for a quote or visit us online at browninsurance.com. That's Brown with an E.
Brown Insurance Services. Insure today. Be sure tomorrow.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Spotlight 29 Casino. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader. This is News Channel 3, live at noon.
Good afternoon. It's the bottom of the hour. I'm Patrick Evans. Here's a look at our top stories right now. Big developments in one of the biggest international festivals right here in the Coachella Valley. Who's set to headline in 2023 coming up? And the search continues for a missing high desert woman. What authorities have revealed about the case so far. That's just ahead. New today at noon, the LA Times is reporting that R&B singer Frank Ocean is set to headline the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival in 2023. The Times interviewed the event's co-founder Paul Tillett, who made the announcement in an article published this morning. Frank Ocean performed at the event back in 2012. Rage Against the Machine and Travis Scott were expected to headline the internationally renowned festival last year before the pandemic canceled those plans. Tillett told the Times the show was nearly 80% finished before the governor announced health restrictions on the state. There's no word on who will headline next year, despite both weekends selling out within 2 hours. The House of Representatives has passed local Congressman Dr. Ruiz's recent spending package. It includes $10 million in funding toward community projects throughout the Coachella Valley. Also, more than $1 million towards strengthening water treatment in Banning, and another $2.7 million for the Clean Water Project for the Coachella Valley Water District. $200,000 is earmarked to go toward the Salton Sea Project. The rest of the funding will go toward expanding access to health care and housing development. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department continues its investigation for a missing woman up in the high desert. Over the weekend, detectives, search and rescue crews went to Ben Mar Trail in Yucca Valley, where Lauren Cho was last seen. She's been missing for more than a month now. Earlier last week, crews conducted aerial searches of the mountain near the area, but no new details have been revealed. Authorities plan to continue their search effort in the future to find Cho as they've learned of additional leads. Also new today at noon, one person has died following a weekend crash in Yucca Valley. Police were called to Highway 62 west of Hess Boulevard around 7:30 Saturday night. There, witnesses told officers that the motorcyclist, a 55-year-old Paul Kerbeau, drifted, crossed lanes into a guardrail. Kerbeau was thrown from the motorcycle and was pronounced dead at the scene. The CHP wants to remind everyone always to wear a Department of Transportation approved helmet when riding a motorcycle. And in Palm Desert, one person died early Saturday morning following a single vehicle crash into a pole. It happened on Highway 111 near Monterey Avenue around 1:30. CAL FIRE says the car then caught on fire. It was extinguished quickly. The person's identity has not been released. News Channel 3 is your back-to-school headquarters, and the first day of school is just around the corner for many local families. The Salvation Army in Cathedral City is hosting a back-to-school bash. It happened over the weekend to get students ready for a new year. News Channel 3's Marian Bouchot has more on how these preparations are a little different than the years past.
After almost a year of virtual learning for a lot of these students here, families are gearing up for back in-person learning, and the Salvation Army is here to help them with that by getting their backpacks stuffed with all the things they're going to need this school year.
You know, we're here today just trying to provide for our community, to give back to the kids, and make sure they're ready to go back to school for those that are going back.
That's Captain James Parker with the Salvation Army in Cathedral City. He says there were about 300 people and counting that came out to the event and about 30 volunteers.
The main idea is to provide kids with back-to-school supplies, backpacks, you know, pens, pencils, papers, all those types of things, as well as, you know, PPE stuff. Kind of made it into an open house as well to highlight some of the programs, as well as to open it to, you know, other providers.
The Rancho Mirage Rotary Club helped stuff backpacks. Desert Care Network gave free COVID vaccines.
There's much need in our community, and so this is just one way that we can provide for those in need.
There were free haircuts, nail trimming, and giveaways. Also, an opportunity to sign up for indoor soccer and music programs.
Fortunate to be able to provide this opportunity even in the midst of a pandemic.
The Salvation Army wants to keep providing families in need with stuffed backpacks to go back to school and is asking for any donations. Marian Bouchot, News Channel 3.
Palm Springs Unified School District is gearing up to head back to class on Wednesday. We will bring you live coverage from a school in that district right here on News Channel 3 in the morning. The Coachella Valley Unified School District will be back in session on Thursday, August 12th. And lastly, Desert Sands will welcome students back on Wednesday, August 18th. Be sure to share your back-to-school photos with us right here on News Channel 3. You can submit them on KESQ.com and at KESQ share at KESQ.com. All right, sunny skies out there. This is a look from the TMO's live Skycam as we enjoy the start to the week. It is a little hotter, though, than last week. Last week, we got lots of humidity. This week, that's thinning out. Currently, on El Paseo, we're at 109 degrees, 19% relative humidity. The wind's coming in at 9 miles per hour out of the northwest, so that is going to help dry things out. The humidity is going down. We're seeing humidity readings down in the single digits at the east end of the valley. So overall, it does feel drier out there. The West Valley is still holding on to a little bit of moisture. That will dry out. Skies are nice and clear. We expect that to continue to be the case. There is an excessive heat warning for the Coachella Valley, areas of the North Desert up around Hesperia, and this is in the Inland Empire, a heat advisory that will last through Wednesday. We also have an excessive heat watch that covers a big chunk of the desert southwest, also lasting through Wednesday, likely to become a warning. I bumped numbers up. I think we're going to be closer to 115 today. We're already at 111 in many valley cities. So we're going to take a closer look at that full First Alert forecast and more of the latest headlines right here on News Channel 3, the desert's news leader. We'll be right back.
Covering the stories that matter to you and your family.
In just the last couple of seconds, this vegetation has sparked up.
From the past to the Salton Sea.
Color pockets, an indication of just how contaminated.
We are News Channel 3, the desert's news leader.
Who are you on the phone with, Wiley?
Can I say hi?
This week.
Britt got hurt, and I'm the one who hurt her.
You don't want to be the other woman in Curtis's marriage.
Willow? ABC's General Hospital.
Welcome to Precious Metals Refinery. We're paying the most for gold, jewelry, diamonds, watches, silver, coins, and more. Get cash today.
Whatever your reasons are, sell it for more to PMR.
Welcome to my home and welcome to my outdoor space. We have these incredible extended awnings that we got from CS Patios. We reached out to CS Patios when we realized that we needed some patio covers. We described to them what we thought we needed, and they came back and gave us our options, incredible options, and this is what we got. They fulfilled our dreams. So if you have any needs regarding your patios, give CS Patios a call. We had a great experience.
Welcome to Precious Metals Refinery. We're paying the most for gold, jewelry, diamonds, watches, silver, coins, and more. Get cash today.
Whatever your reasons are, sell it for more to PMR.
Closed captioning brought to you by Brad Schmidt Real Estate Group. Call the agent Barbara Corcoran recommends and sell your home on time for the most money.
Hi, I'm Splash. Did you know there are more than 100 ways to save water? And some of them are really easy. Here's just a few. Test your toilet for leaks at least once a year. Install low-flow appliances. Report broken pipes or sprinklers to owners or your local water agency. Know where your master water shutoff valve is located in case of a leak. Help save our most precious resource. Visit cvwatercounts.com for more ways to save. Every drop counts.
Insurance companies have massive legal teams that are notorious for trying to settle your claim for less than you're entitled to. Hi, I'm attorney Jeffrey Weaver. I've been fighting insurance companies for over 30 years, and I know how to stand up to these insurance companies to get the compensation you not only deserve, but that you are fully entitled to. When they push you around, let me push back. Call me at 444-HURT. That's 444-HURT. Don't fight them alone.
There is word today that we'll see Simone Biles back in action to compete, plus the heartwarming moment between two athletes that showed us what the games are all about. And as Jim Ryan reports, another big win, especially for the Coachella Valley. Desert Hot Springs native Sarah Robles has won another bronze medal, making her the first American woman with 2 weightlifting medals.
Simone Biles will be back on the floor in the balance beam finals tomorrow after openly admitting her struggles with the twisties and withdrawing from multiple events. Teammate Jade Carey won gold this morning in the floor event and reacted to Biles' return.
Having Simone being back tomorrow is great. I'm really proud of her. She's been through a lot this Olympics, so it's going to be great to see her out there tomorrow.
Carey was coached by her father, who was on hand for her big moment.
It means everything to me to have my dad here. We've been working so hard for this together, so I'm really glad that I was able to do that for us tonight.
It's Jade's first Olympic medal. She was not a part of the team that won silver in the team event. Heartbreak for the women's soccer team. Team USA fell 1-0 to Canada, but will play for the bronze on Thursday. And on the diamond, Team USA fell to Japan in extra innings in the quarterfinals. The Americans will still play in the semis. The USA women's basketball team continued its winning ways, defeating France 93-82 for its 52nd consecutive win in Olympics competition. The team advances to the quarterfinals. And this is what the Olympic Games are all about.
We can continue with the jump off. Can we have 2 gold? It's possible. It depends if you decide on Olympic champions.
In a moment of true sportsmanship, Gianmarco Tamberi of Italy and Mutas Essa Barshim of Qatar jumped into each other's arms after agreeing to share the gold in the high jump instead of going to a jump-off. Tamberi was unable to compete in Rio because of injuries. The two friends are ecstatic with the outcome. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Tokyo.
A sprinter from the former Soviet Republic of Belarus claims her country's Olympic officials tried to send her home for criticizing them on social media and for making her run a relay. This despite never having raced the event before. Kristina Simonskaya says that her life is now at risk and she is seeking asylum. In response, Japanese police blocked her from leaving, and the International Olympic Committee says she is safe and secure. Both Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko and his son Viktor, the head of the Belarusian Olympic Committee, were banned from Tokyo in 2020. They are accused of targeting athletes who supported the opposition.
Free speech and dissent is not something that is allowed, is commonplace in Belarus. You can see how much fear athletes would have, and you could see under those circumstances this athlete had just had enough.
In a statement, the Belarusian Olympic Committee said that Simonskaya was removed from the Games based on her emotional and psychological state. An activist group in Tokyo says it will work to get her flown to Poland later this week.
Now, your first alert forecast with meteorologist Patrick Evans.
Let's step outside, take a peek at the Classic Club, where skies are nice and clear, beautiful blue skies. Again, if you're thinking about outdoor activities, the course is in great shape, but it is really hot in the afternoon. So try to get out there and do those outdoor activities, be it work or recreational stuff, earlier in the day. Skies are going to remain clear. We've pushed that monsoonal moisture back off to the east into the Four Corners states. I have mentioned this throughout the day, but this is important to note. The excessive heat watch has become a warning for the Coachella Valley for tomorrow through Wednesday, and I even think Thursday is going to be pretty hot as well. In the Inland Empire, heat advisory, excessive heat watch in place for areas to our east, stretching all the way out toward Phoenix. So a large swath of the country is going to be dealing with extremely hot conditions under a ridge of high pressure. Now, that ridge has helped to reduce that monsoonal moisture. It has pushed it way off to the east. But what we're going to see over the next couple of days are increasing temperatures, peaking out close to 117 or so by Wednesday. We're at 111 degrees in Palm Springs right now, 109 in Palm Desert, 110 in Indio, 111 in Thermal, and 111 in the high desert at 29 Palms. Now, our normal high for the day is 109 degrees, so this isn't radically hot, but we're going to continue to warm up. Remember, we've got a couple of more hours of warming yet to go, and we are already 4 to 6 degrees above our temperatures from yesterday at noon, so we're on a pace to really continue to heat up. The one plus in the forecast is that northwesterly breeze that we've been seeing. It's not real windy, but it is pushing drier air into the region, so that's going to really help us out. It would be really bad if we were looking at 115 and a lot of humidity, something we saw last week briefly. Now, the humidity factor is still fairly high in the West Valley. We've dried out nicely. East Valley dew points are down. Remember to take all of your usual heat precautions, particularly staying hydrated and being cautious about your exposure outside. I'd put off hiking until the weekend when the numbers come down a little bit, and be sure that you're a seasoned hiker and can handle the heat. Take more water than you think you need. High pressure will be in place over the next couple of days through really the entire week. Going to be up around 115. Let's check out our Comfort Air 7-day forecast. 115, 116, getting back down closer to normal by Saturday and Sunday. Got more coming up right here on News Channel 3. I'm Patrick Evans. We'll be right back.
News Channel 3 in the morning, your back-to-school headquarters. Watch this week to help your family start the year right. From buses to the classroom, our team has back to school covered. Wednesday, I'll have live coverage of the first day of in-person learning at PSUSD.
Plus, the coronavirus has brought major changes for parents and children in every district. See the adjustments you'll need to make.
This week, watch News Channel 3 in the morning, your back to school information headquarters.
There's been much debate about the Mona Lisa smile. Would it have been bigger and brighter if she'd had good dental care? Maybe if Physicians Mutual Insurance Company had been around back then, it'd be a different story. She could have gone to the dentist more, knowing she'd have help paying the bills. And those regular checkups might have found early signs of tooth decay or gum disease, costly problems that could keep anyone from smiling. Physicians Mutual offers affordable coverage that can help pay for cleanings and unexpected or expensive procedures you might need, like crowns or dentures. This is real dental insurance, not just a discount plan or for checkups only. There are no deductibles, and there's no annual maximum. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Call or go online today for a free information kit from Physicians Mutual. Get the dental care you need to help you stay healthy. For your free information kit with all the details, call us now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Majestic Shutters, Awnings, and Blinds features the widest selection of manufactured, designed, and installed awnings, window coverings, and blinds, including motorized window treatments and awnings. We offer a wide variety of styles and colors to choose from to perfectly match your decor. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, we can help with all your window covering needs. Fast, professional installation will have you enjoying the beauty and convenience with great savings. Majestic Shutters, Awnings, and Blinds, specializing on customer satisfaction for over 50 years. Call us today at 346-1957.
Why choose Stephen Powell as your real estate agent? Because Stephen Powell can save you thousands when listing your home. Stephen has created a one-of-a-kind real estate marketing and representation system that allows you to save thousands in realtor fees without sacrificing service.
Hi, I'm Stephen Powell. If your home is worth $700,000, you will save $14,000 in commission. That's your 33% from me to you. Call today.
Your First Alert forecast is brought to you by Comfort Air Conditioning and Heating. We're #1 for a reason. Eye on the Desert, presented by Erkey's Electrical Heating and Air. Now, from the desert's news leader, this is Eye on the Desert from News Channel 3.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Eye on the Desert. I'm your host, Patrick Evans. Thanks for joining us. And it is very nice to be back as a full 15-minute program. As we were pre-pandemic, we're going to be staying in this time slot, but it is really delightful to be able to welcome more guests. After a virtual year and the pandemic, we had a lot of great guests virtually. Now we're able to welcome them back into the studio. And one of those first guests, the Paint El Paseo Walk, Paint El Paseo Pink Walk is returning in person this year. And we got a preview of how that's going to work and how you can register for the event. I am pleased to be joined by Yvette Edens from the Desert Cancer Foundation. Welcome back to the program. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you as well.
I believe the last time you were on was via Zoom, so it's nice to have you in studio.
Absolutely.
And last time we were talking about a virtual Paint El Paseo Pink. This year, back live and in action.
Back live. We just got the okay from the City of Palm Desert. We are having our in-person walk on October 9th at 8 a.m. start, and we're very excited.
That is going to be exciting, and I know that people are going to, they always support this event. But it is more fun now to be able to get everybody back together.
Yes, it was really well received, and we had great participation last year, and we're grateful. But this year, I think people are, we're already seeing registrations come in, and people are excited to be in person. You know, it's a big celebration. It's, first of all, it's awareness for breast cancer, but it's also celebrating the ones who've survived and remembering the ones that we've lost. And it's an important fundraiser for DCF, and people understand and support that.
And remind folks again, just give a quick thumbnail sketch of what the mission is for Desert Cancer Foundation.
Desert Cancer Foundation pays for cancer care for local Coachella Valley residents who need the financial assistance for all cancer care, including breast, but all cancer care.
Right, and obviously this event, the Paint El Paseo Pink, specifically focusing on battling breast cancer, but DCF, and you guys do something that a lot of organizations don't do, and one of the things that you do is provide local assistance.
Yes, absolutely. Our assistance is local, and it's also leveraged. Every dollar donated translates to $10 in care thanks to our partners, the local healthcare community, Eisenhower, Lucy Curci Cancer Center, and Desert Regional's Comprehensive Cancer Center.
How can folks get involved in Paint El Paseo Pink this year?
PaintElPaseoPink.org. You can walk as an individual, you can join a team, you can register your own team, and just be there to support us. Wear pink and let's celebrate together.
And we have a link up at KESQ.com that'll guide you through all of this, get you registered, and we want to see a big crowd turn out. It's October the 9th. It is going to be a fun event, and along El Paseo, the merchants there really support this event, and they have special things going on throughout the day.
Yes, a lot of them open early, and they're huge supporters of the event as well, and they're part of it. They're there and they're part of it. So
we're very lucky to live in such a giving, philanthropic community, and we appreciate your leadership at DCF.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your time and having us on.
Our pleasure. And coming up tomorrow, we have some more great segments to showcase. One of them being that the golf cart parade in Palm Desert will be making a return to in-person live action again this year. The Grand Marshal will be NFL legend Tom Flores, and this year's parade will be on Halloween with big crowds expected again.
We expect maybe 10,000 people this year for the event. People want to get back out and see this kind of stuff. We'll have 80 to 100 carts, and we're going to do things up like the kids zone, the VIP section. We'll have a special senior section again with food and shade, which will be important for them. This is going to be a really big deal, kind of our coming out party.
We also talked about the upcoming State of the City address for Palm Desert. All of that will be featured tomorrow on Eye on the Desert, so we want you to join us then. Now, tickets for Modernism Week's fall preview are on sale right now. The event is set to spotlight the Sunburst Palm Home Tour, the 70s Sackley Home Tour, and the Desert's Modernist Screening and Talk. Modernism Week is a chance for people from all over the world to come together and celebrate the iconic mid-century modern architecture right here in the Coachella Valley. The fall preview runs from October 14th through the 17th. Some events have already sold out, but there are still spots for others. To buy your tickets, you can go to modernismweek.com, and all of those tickets, and those that are available, you can find them right there. In some national entertainment news, we are rooting for Kathy Griffin and her recovery. She revealed that she's undergoing surgery for lung cancer, but her doctors are optimistic she should be up and running around as usual in a month or less. The comedian took to Instagram and Twitter Monday to say her cancer was caught early and confined to her left lung. The surgery will result in half of her lung being removed. She wrote on social media that it's been a hell of a 4 years trying to get back to work, making you guys laugh and entertaining you, but I'm going to be just fine. We certainly hope that's the case. Coming up next here on Eye on the Desert, this Palm Springs Animal Shelter will join us, and a beautiful, very young kitten. We're going to be sharing a need that you can help fill at the community's animal shelter. Eye on the Desert, back after this.
How's it going?
Well, the double 90-degree bend that I installed was a bad idea, so I'm installing a Baffle T to replace it.
Wow, nice work.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Attention, California. New federal funding of $3 billion is available to help more people pay for health insurance, no matter what your income. How much is yours? Julie and Bob are paying $700 less every month. Dee got comprehensive coverage for only $1 a month. And the Nevadas are paying less than $100 a month. Check CoveredCA.com to see your new lower price. The sooner you sign up, the more you save. Only at Cover California. This way to health insurance.
You're sure, right?
Yes.
Blackouts are coming to California.
Dad, fold it like this.
Let me see. You know, Grandma's secret was to pinch it.
What?
And after this past year, it's the last thing we need.
Wait. Oh, no.
We have the power to end blackouts. Save energy and get paid with Ohm Connect. Sign up today at ncablackouts.com, and for a limited time, get a free smart thermostat.
Everybody's talking about the crunchiest hit of the summer. Del Taco's Crunch Tatas come in bean and cheese, seasoned beef with Del Taco's signature queso, or chicken with fresh guacamole. Starting at only $1. Only at Del Taco. Del yeah, baby. Del yeah. So crunchy.
How's it going?
Well, the double 90-degree bend that I installed was a bad idea, so I'm installing a Baffle T to replace it.
Wow, nice work.
And away go troubles down the drain.
This week, we now know more about the Delta variant and see younger people getting seriously ill. The threat of catastrophic consequences for under-vaccinated states. With so much at stake, ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is the #1 program on all of television.
Welcome back to Eye on the Desert. On this next segment, we're highlighting the need for foster guardians with loving kittens who need your help to become ready for adoption. Welcome, Katie Vogo from the Palm Springs Animal Shelter here to talk about the need for kitten fosters. And you've got a tiny little guy there, Firecracker, who is being fostered, and you have a need for these volunteers.
Yes, we have a large need for volunteers who are willing to take on bottle feeding kittens and underage kittens. This time of the year in the Coachella Valley, we see hundreds, not only us, but the other animal welfare organizations that are in the valley. And as you can see, look, you can sit here. It takes no effort whatsoever, right?
Looks pretty easy.
Easy peasy.
And you guys make it very easy because you provide all the supplies, correct? If someone volunteers to be a foster, you're going to provide them with the kitten formula and all of the stuff that they need to make sure this kitten grows up safe.
Yeah, we want you to be successful. That's the goal. And the goal is to get these kittens old enough to spay and neuter them and find them their forever homes. So Palm Springs Animal Shelter does provide you with the bottles, the formula, the scales, all of the medical care. Our medical team works closely with our fosters to make sure the kittens are healthy and gaining the weight they should be gaining. So yeah, we want it to be as easy as possible for you so you can continue to foster and continue to help us save lives.
He is so cute. Name is Firecracker because he was found around the 4th of July.
Yes, yeah, he was found at 2 days old, so he looks humongous now. But he was barely fit in the palm of my hand. He was so little, and now he's grown to be a big boy. And he's almost done with his bottle, and he'll be eating on his own soon enough. And then in about 4 more weeks, he'll be available for adoption.
That's fantastic. And we were talking about this. Sometimes people find kittens that may appear to be abandoned, but that's not necessarily the case. And you don't always recommend that people intervene.
Yes, call us. We'll give you advice. If you think it's a hard situation or you haven't seen mom in a while, we have advice for you. We want kittens to stay with their mom. She knows best. We don't. So just remember that. Keep that in mind when you're making a decision to take small little lives. It's easier for mom and nature to take care of those lives than it is for humans. So yeah, definitely we will guide you through that process and figure out what is best for those kittens.
And obviously the need is, we're in the middle of kitten season, so the need is quite high. Folks can just go right to your website and find information about volunteering, number of opportunities, including foster care.
Yes, foster care, coming into the shelter and helping us with the kittens that are in the shelter. There's tons of opportunity to come help save a life and be a part of that journey.
Okay. Let me put up the information. If you're interested, go to psanimalshelter.org. They have the volunteer section, and you can fill out the application, and then their foster coordinator will contact you and begin the onboarding process. Very important because obviously they take a lot of specialized care, but you guys are going to coach everybody through this and make it easy for the kitten and for the foster.
Correct. It is not hard, and we stand by that, and we just want to be here to help you as you can help us.
Katie, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you.
Oh, and thank you, Firecracker. He is adorable. All right, and remember, he'll be available in about 4 weeks. Tickets for the Joshua Tree Music Festival are also on sale. The event, held outside the National Park, it showcases a diverse group of musicians over a 4-day period. It also offers various workshops, including yoga and movement, digital arts, and myth. The festival, which runs from October 7th through the 10th, is open to audiences of all ages, and the 4-day pass starts at $225. Pretty reasonable for a 4-day festival. Well, it's Leo season, and Tropical Restaurant and Lounge wants to celebrate people born during this time of year. The Palm Springs Eatery is set to host a Leo party alongside Boy Rands and his fellow Leos for their 13th annual event. You can enjoy cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, and your best jungle-themed costume. It's on Wednesday of this week, 5 to 7 p.m. That wraps up Eye on the Desert today. I'm Patrick Evans. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.